Hello guys, Izanagi here, and today I am doing a video where I will be reacting to the Donald Trump and Zohran Mamdani collaboration. Yes, they are collaborating with each other. Zohran visited the White House recently, and I've seen some clips of this on social media about them just hanging together, and it's very, very interesting to say the least. You've got a lot of right-wingers, pro-MAGA people that are losing their shit. Like, how dare he invite Zohran to the White House and be cordial and praise him? What's going on? This wasn't part of the plan, Trump. How could you do this? How could you betray us? You were the chosen one. You know, like, all dramatic like that. And I would say to these people, first of all, why are you surprised? So, let's think about this logically. Trump, he is not very popular. I mean, if you're part of the brain-dead MAGA cult, you think he's the best thing since sliced bread. But most normal people who are apolitical and even slightly left-leaning do not like Trump at all. There was even a opinion poll, and this was done on Fox News, by the way, so you can take these results with a grain of salt. They're probably more catered akin to Trump's favor than if anything else, because, let's be honest, Fox News is a heavily right-wing leaning pundit news channel with obvious clear bias. Right. Duh. So there was a poll, and I think it was like 60% of people have disapproval towards Trump, and only 40% have approval. That's crazy. So more than half of people do not like Trump. And this was a poll taken on Fox News. So there's obviously natural biases, and this is where Trump's main base is. So that tells you anything. So the reason why Trump is sucking up to Mamdani is because, despite how much of a knob he is, he can clearly see when someone is a winner and has charisma. And Trump kind of wants to, you know, he kind of wants to get that limelight a bit off from Mamdani. He wants to get it. He wants to shine it on him because, like, his current reputation and his grip on the economy is just slowly in freefall. Drastically in freefall. So he's trying to do whatever he can to kind of like seem like a likable guy by attaching himself to Mamdani and being cordial, right? Which I think in the long scheme is good for everyone, right? Unity. Now, do I think that after Mamdani leaves and goes back to New York and starts implementing his policies, Trump will have a different opinion? Probably. But at the moment, in person, he does seem quite cordial with him. So let's watch this. Let's watch this video. I've seen a few clips, but we will watch a bit of this video.
Zohran Mamdani is meeting with President Trump. Let's listen.
One thing in common, we want this city of ours that we love to do very well. And I wanted to...
also, is obviously, if you know anything about Trump, he is a born and raised New Yorker. So out of all the states in the US, he has a certain soft spot for New York. So maybe even, like, politics aside, he does genuinely want the best for, you know, his home state. So that could also be a factor.
Congratulate the mayor. He really ran an incredible race against, you know, a lot of smart people, starting with the early...
Smart people. I mean, who was he running against? Fucking Andrew Cuomo. So he was running against, obviously not to discredit Zohran Mamdani, he ran an amazing campaign, and he is a very charismatic man. But, like, let's not pretend his competition were Andrew Cuomo has got, like, what, 10, 11, 12, 13 sexual assault cases at the moment from women on him. He also did a gross mismanagement during COVID when in terms of, like, moving around elderly people in care homes, which resulted in their deaths. The fact that Andrew Cuomo even got, I think he got like almost 30% of the vote, that is concerning. That you can fuck up so much at your job and be such an unlikable piece of crap, you still get that much of the voting public to support you. Although that being said, a lot of people voted for, like 49% of the US public voted for Trump, so shouldn't be too surprised, right? Americans' brains are cooked. So you shouldn't be too surprised.
Primaries against some very tough people, very smart people. And he beat him easily. And I congratulated him. And we talked about some things in very strong common, like housing and getting housing built and
Social housing?
Price
That sounds like communism, mate. What's going on? Some MAGA influencer somewhere mashing a keyboard on Twitter.
and the price of oil is coming way down. That anything I do is going to be good for New York. If I can get prices down, it's good for New York, and we've got them down, way down from last year. We have, as you know, I've been saying to a lot of people, Walmart said that Thanksgiving this year is exactly 25% less than last year. So that's good for New York, good for everybody. But I
Trump
just
is
want
living
to
in a fabricated reality, by the way. Prices have not gone down at all.
The better he does, the happier I am. I will say there's no difference in party. There's no difference in anything, and we're going to be helping him.
There's no difference in party. I don't know about that one, Chief. Maybe back in the day, traditionally, the only difference between, like, you know, Republicans and Democrats was, okay, the Democrats are a centralist party and they lean slightly to the left, and the Republicans are a centralist party and they lean slightly to the right. These days, it's like far right authoritarianism and like socialism. Like, those are the politics can't be even more divided than it is in current day.
To make everybody's dream come true, having a strong and very safe New York. And congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Oh, God. The hand of death. That's not the hand he wanked off Bubba with, was it? Disclaimer, we don't know if Bubba is actually Bill Clinton or Horse, apparently. So, the Epstein files are wild.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Please.
I appreciated the meeting with the president, and as he said, it was a productive meeting focused on a place of shared admiration and love, which is New York City, and the need to deliver affordability to New Yorkers, the 8.5 million people who call our city their home, who are struggling to afford life in the most expensive city in the United States of America.
It's crazy. I wonder if New York is even more expensive than London. I wouldn't be surprised. It always seems like these big capital cities with a lot of tourism and like they always are like high cost of living just because it's like the main central hub of commerce, right?
We spoke about
and everyone wants to live in the city, which obviously jacks up the price.
We spoke about groceries, we spoke about utilities, we spoke about the different ways in which people are being pushed out, and I appreciated the time with the president, I appreciated the conversation, I look forward to working together to deliver that affordability for New Yorkers.
Thank you very much. Any questions, please?
President Trump, Stephen Nelson from the New York Post. I've got a question for you and then also one for the mayor-elect.
Sure.
For you, you referred to Mr. Mamdani as a communist. Why do you feel that way? And also, will you do anything to stop him from arresting Prime Minister Netanyahu if he visits New York?
Oh, that'd be so based if he arrested Netanyahu.
We didn't discuss your second part of the question, and on your first part,
Goddamn war criminal.
He's got views that are a little out there, but who knows? I mean, we're going to see what works, or he's going to change also. We all change. I changed a lot. Changed a lot from when I first came to office. It's now.
Oh no! Don't tell me Zoran's going to basically transform into like a right-wing Republican hog. He's like, socialism, what's that? You know, he just does a complete 180. I mean, in the realms of politics, that isn't. Unfortunately, that isn't totally out of the realms of possibility. But I do have faith in Zohran Mamdani. He's going to stick to his guns.
Quite a while ago. It's quite a while.
Hopefully.
My first term was great. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. We're doing even better now.
We had the greatest economy under Joe Biden, who there was like some guy commenting on on this video, and he was like, I don't know, throwing shots at Joe Biden, like, oh, Trump is in way better shape than Joe Biden, blah blah blah, and it's like, okay, well, let's use your own logic against you. Joe Biden, a man that falls asleep almost 24/7. He's got early onset of dementia, and he also had cancer. Still somehow managed to run the economy better than Trump. What does that tell you then? If by your definition Trump is healthy and fine, and Biden managed to run the economy better, well, what does that tell you, right?
Yeah, we're doing much better now than we did even the first term, and I can tell you some of my views have changed, and we had
Trump's a socialist now. Oh shit.
discussions on some things. I'm not going to discuss what they were, but that
He did used to run as a Democrat, but here's the thing about Trump. He doesn't run on political ideology. He runs purely on self-interest. So whatever is going to make him the most money, wealth, status, popularity, for him it's all about ego. That's what he cares about. he would say he's a communist if it meant popular support. Like it doesn't matter to Trump. Like that's what he isn't ideologically driven.
I feel very confident that he can do a very good job. I think.
That being said, I still think he's a fascist. Now, you want to make the argument, oh well, it's actually the administration, people in his administration that are pushing him towards like kind of this fascism, maybe. But he's still compliant regardless. So yeah, my opinion on that hasn't changed.
I think he's going to be. I think he is going to surprise some conservative people, actually, and some very liberal.
I think some conservative people are already surprised. Definitely on Twitter.
People he won't surprise them because they already like him.
And Mr. Mamdani, it sounds like you had a productive discussion, but just days ago you referred to President Trump as a despot who betrayed the country. You said you'd be his worst nightmare and accused him of having a fascist agenda.
Based.
Are you planning to retract any of these remarks in order to improve your relationship?
I think both President Trump and I, we are very clear about our positions and our views, and what I really appreciate about the president is that the meeting that we had focused not on places of disagreement, which there are many, and also focused on the shared purpose that we have in serving New Yorkers. And frankly, that is something that could transform the lives of the 8.5 million people who are currently struggling under a cost of living crisis, with 1 in 4 living
What's
in
the
poverty.
population of New York?
The meeting came back again and again to what it could look like to lift those New Yorkers out
Even
of
for a
struggle,
large city, that's
start
a
to deliver
huge
them a city that
population.
they could do more than just struggle to afford it, but actually start to live in it.
And I've been called much worse than a despot, so.
We know Trump. We know rapist, pedo, orange Mussolini. You have definitely been called much worse. Now release the goddamn Epstein files, goddammit, and don't retract your name from them. Thank you.
It's not that insulting. But maybe I think he'll change his mind after we get to working together. Yes, please. Good.
I would like to ask you a question about the.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me when you're in the workplace and there's that one colleague who is just so goddamn obnoxious and annoying, but you have to coexist with them for the sake of like your job. That this is what this feels like now. It's like two people that do not like each other, that are like ideologically opposed, but they kind of have to like, you know, smile and be cordial and friendly-ish to each other just to be able to do their job. This is what this basically reminds me of. This is that one co-worker who's just a complete asshole, who's like super racist and votes for reform and is a bigot. But you gotta be like, oh yeah, how you doing today, mate? Yeah, you're right. Yeah. How was the weekend then? Yeah, you painted any roundabouts? Yeah, cool. All right, nice.
That Hezbollah in Lebanon is not in a good position. And Lebanon now is the final unresolved after Gaza and Syria. Given your assessment, like what do you say for the Lebanese today? It's the independent state of Lebanon. And what is your next move to push toward disarmament?
Sure. Well, we are pushing for total disarmament of Hamas and, frankly, everybody else. And we actually have peace in the Middle East, as you know.
How is that peace still going? I think the ceasefire lasted like not even 24 hours before Israel started hurling missiles and rockets again at Palestinians.
The King of Saudi Arabia just left yesterday. We had some great meetings, and he's made a contribution toward the United States of more than $1 trillion.
And don't even get me started on that quote-unquote Russia peace deal. Peace deal, yeah. You basically just reward Russia with everything. Crazy. But that's a whole different subject. I'm not going to get in a tangent over. Insane. You can look at the details of the peace deal, the quote-unquote peace deal if you want. They're online. Ridiculous.
We have now over $20 trillion coming in. No country has ever had anything like that, not even close. If you go to 2 trillion or 1 trillion, it's a lot. We have 20 or 21 trillion dollars. I think.
Like, who even cares at this point? Like, the US is heavily in debt. Like 2 trillion or something. Money at this point might as well just be a make-believe fabrication, because if any normal person was in debt, like the US government, they wouldn't even be able to function. Like debt at this point doesn't even matter if you can just write it off. What's the point?
That Hezbollah.
They're never going to pay off the deficit.
Deficit. Big problem.
China owns it all.
We're working with everybody in the Middle East. That's another thing I think we have in common. We want to see peace in the Middle East, and we actually have now for the first time peace in the Middle East after 3,000 years. And now we're going to
3,000 years. What? Does he just make these numbers up? It reminds me of one interview where he had a translator, and he was talking about Italy, and he's like, oh yeah, the US and Italy have been allies for thousands of years, ever since the Roman Empire. And it was like, it's like, brother has no basic concept of history, not even his own country's history. The United States is barely, what, 400 years old? 300 years old? Been allies since the Roman Empire. The Native Americans were just like, you know, Rome's best ally, right? They were like good trade partners. Oh my god. Oh, I don't know.
And I think you're going to see some very positive things happen.
Oh. People voted for this man, by the way. Like, I know, I keep repeating myself. We're living in a clown world.
Oh, sure. Oh, I would do that, absolutely. And if the mayor would like to be here for that meeting, because I know he feels very strongly. I think you feel very, very strongly about peace in the Middle East. I think
we desperately want it, and that's something that I shared with the president, that when I spoke to New Yorkers who had voted for the president last November on Hillside Avenue and Fordham Road, I asked them why. I heard again and again two major reasons. One was that they wanted an end to forever wars. They wanted an end to the taxpayer dollars we had funding violations of human rights, and they wanted to address the cost of living crisis.
It's an absolute travesty how so much money is getting funneled to Israel as they just commit war crimes and genocide casually. Meanwhile, the Israeli state itself actually has like universal healthcare and like tons of like I would say generous welfare safety nets for their citizens. Meanwhile, Americans don't have any of that. I just find that ironic.
Appreciated the chance to discuss both of those things.
All funded by the American taxpayer.
For him, and
1 in 10.
And I'm okay with that.
I'm all for that kind of system, by the way, and government, but like it just seems kind of ironic when it's being paid on the foot of like the American taxpayer, whilst they are also committing a genocide against another nation.
I'll do that. I'll sign it. Give it to me. I'll sign it in a minute. That's pretty good.
Mr. President.
Yeah, please.
Is that my Discord or someone else's Discord?
New York City, you both have differences when it comes to ICE agents.
ICE.
Mr. Mamdani, you call ICE a rogue government entity.
Hell yeah, they are.
How you reconcile
They're masked armed thugs.
on both of those issues.
Fuck
Well, I
'em.
think we're going to work them out, and I think that
Work 'em out.
if we have
The only way you're going to work them out is if you completely defund ICE and get rid of them. Fuck them.
known murderers and known drug dealers, and
Yeah, like a middle-aged woman who's like a nursery teacher for little kids. Definitely a known murderer and drug dealer. And there was also one story of like some like little kid who was going to school who got abducted by ICE. Those are the people, those are the soft targets ICE are going after. They're not going after criminals or thugs or dangerous people, because dangerous people are a threat. They pick soft targets like middle-aged women, old men, and little kids. Get the fuck out of here. And they do it whilst covering their faces with bandanas and wearing sunglasses with no sort of ID or identification to like identify them with. They have no sorts of they don't have any semblance of basic training or discipline. They're just like random guys. Like, okay, let's see, you're a guy, you're between 20 to 40, you're in reasonable like shape, good decent build to you. You can follow orders no matter how distasteful they are. Okay, you're hired. There's supposed to be like a written exam for ICE, and like I think like at least like 80% of the applicants don't even pass the written exam, and they're just like, whatever. As long as you're obedient, an asshole, and like have a decent build. Like they just get random people for ICE. It's terrible.
some very bad people. You know,
I'm not saying even if they were trained professionals, I wouldn't say that would make it any better. They're just scum, regardless.
want to get them out, and the mayor wants to have peace. We discussed this at great length, actually, maybe more than anything else. He wants to have a safe New York. Ultimately, a safe New York is going to be a great New York. If it's not safe, no matter how well we do with pricing and with anything else, we can talk about anything you want. If you don't have safe streets, it's not going to be a success. So we're going to work together. We're going to make sure that
What a load of
there are
waffle, mate.
horrible people there, we want to get them out. I think he wants to get them out, maybe more than I do. So we'll work together. We discussed it at great length. Yes, please.
Yeah, two questions, if I may. One for you, Mr. President, from the BBC in a second. But first of all, for the
I would have liked a bit of pushback there from Zohran, but like, you know, it is what it is. You got to pick and choose your battles. But Trump chats so much shit.
You're both from different parts of the political spectrum.
You got to be cordial.
Populist, though. I just wondered to what extent the president's campaign style, his techniques, his social media inspired any part of your campaign.
Well, I actually told the president that, so much of the focus of our campaign has been on the cost of living crisis. And when we asked those...
Yeah, I think the thing with Zohran is, yes, you could argue he's a populist in the sense he's very charismatic and popular with people. He's like a very likable personality. But that's only half of the story. The other half is that he is, addressing people's issues. He's putting forward good policies that will actually benefit the average citizen of New York and improve their lives. Even if it's something marginally, like at the moment they're just getting absolutely crushed by the cost of living. So even like any sort of marginal improvement, be it with like public transport, buses, rent control, etc., even that is a step in the right direction. So I think it's a combination of his charisma and his well thought out policies, personally.
New Yorkers who had voted for the president when we saw an increase in his numbers in New York City that came back to the same issue: cost of living, cost of living, cost of living. And they
It always comes back to the cost of living. Cost of living. There's only so much like anti-woke, culture war shit you can push, because at the end of the day, what most voters care about is the cost of living and, their lifestyle and what they can get with their money. Like, that will always be the main primary focus and main issue. Doesn't matter if you're a Democrat, doesn't matter if you're a Republican, doesn't matter if you're apolitical or don't give a shit about politics. That's the main thing everyone cares about.
Cost of Con Ed, the cost of childcare. And too often politicians are looking to lecture to New Yorkers what they should care about as opposed to listen. And when we spoke to those voters who voted for President Trump, we heard them speak about cost of living. We focus on that same cost of living, and that's where I...
yeah. How is that going for you? Record-breaking levels of inflation, and when Trump is called out upon it, he just makes complete lies. It's like George Orwell's 1984. Oh, we were never at war with, was it? I forgot what the freaking faction is, but we were never at war with Oceania, even though they were at war with Oceania for 20 years straight until just like a day ago. But the party line says no, we weren't. It's like basically just trying to completely deny all reality.
I'm really looking forward to delivering for New Yorkers in partnership with the president on the affordability agenda.
And I think we have to work a little bit. We talked about Con Edison. We have to work a little bit on getting the prices because, we've gotten fuel prices way down, but it hasn't shown up in Con Edison. And we're going to have to talk to them. If we're sending them fuel at a much lower price than it was a year ago, which is true, we have to get Con Edison to start lowering their rates.
Absolutely.
And if I may, last week you told me you were pushing ahead with your plans to sue BBC for up to $5 billion.
Oh, the BBC. Oh, yeah, he's got a lawsuit with the BBC. I think he's got more important things to worry about right now, like the Epstein files.
The Prime Minister, we made a deal with UK. I like him. He's a fine person, and I think they have some big energy problems.
Keir Starmer, Jesus. The charisma of a wet paper bag. If only we had more politicians like Zohran Mamdani in the UK. Did I call him morons? No, I love Mamdani. I'm just dyslexic. Zohran Mamdani. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
They've got windmills all over the place.
That's gonna get clipped. You were a MAGA right winger this whole time.
They have to start using other methods because their energy is out of control. Talking about in the UK, it's out of control, and he's got that problem. He's got a big immigration problem, as you know, and he's got a big energy problem. And we talk about it. He's a good man.
Bit off topic, but it's on the subject of immigration. Fuck reform and fuck Nigel Farage. Thank you and good night.
This is a good man.
You had a chance to speak this week.
I haven't spoken this week.
Have you spoken to President Zelensky, or do you intend to?
Who? Who? Zelensky? Who's that? Oh, not an ad.
Champagne! We are now officially Witcher's banking
I hate
brand of the
YouTube
year.
sometimes.
Nationwide is. They're keeping branches
20-second ad, come on, dude.
4 million members 100 quid each.
Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
I don't remember ordering that.
I watched a bit more of this video and I think I'm done. It's quite long, it's like half an hour.
A good way to bank.
This program is delivered by DHL.
Oh my god, so many ads. Wait, there's an ad in the video?
Cold winter and a lot of the, you talk about utilities, but a lot of the big energy producing plants have been under attack, to put it mildly, to put it nicely. Yeah, we have a way of getting peace, or we think we have a way of...
We have a way of getting peace. It basically means... the TLDR is making Ukraine bend the knee and give everything to Russia, almost. It's basically, you're essentially rewarding bad behavior from a bully. It's like, what's that? Oh, you punched this kid in the face first and you gave him a black eye? That sucks, but I think to stop him getting bullied, you should give like the bully like a monthly allowance, and then he'll stop bullying you. No, that's just straight up mafioso shit. That's like, oh, you don't pay us protection money, we're gonna keep wrecking your business. Right? It's like, but if you pay us protection money, we won't wreck your business. An oxymoron in itself, right?
Getting peace, he's gonna have to approve it.
Yeah, that deal is
So sad,
swank,
so many
like I
people.
said before.
Last month they lost 25,000 soldiers. This is something, we haven't seen anything like this.
Yeah, it's true. Like, Ukraine's losing soldiers every day, and so is Russia. But, like, that is, personally, I can't obviously speak on the behalf of Ukraine or Ukraine's people, but I would personally take that as a slap in the face. If I had a family member who sacrificed their life fighting against Russia, and then they make a peace deal like that, which is just bending the knee to Russia, I would feel just, like, insulted, personally.
It's the Second World War. And they're averaging 6,000 or 7,000 a week between the
Obviously,
two.
everyone wants to stop the war. No one wants to see people die, but, like, come on. That peace deal is a joke.
Dead soldiers.
You won't even call it that.
And it goes on, and I think they're getting reasonably close. But I don't want to predict. I would have said that would have been one of my early ones. I did 8 peace deals of countries, including in India, Pakistan. You could even go, in fact, they're coming here in a week or two, go to the Congo and Rwanda. That was 10 million people dead, and we worked something out on that. But so many, and the one I thought would have been, for me, because I have a very good relationship with President Putin.
He thinks he has a good relationship with Putin. Thinking you have a good relationship with Putin and actually having a good relationship with Putin are two completely separate things. I don't think anyone has a good relationship with Putin. I don't even think his, like, spouse or kids have a good relationship with Putin. I think this is a man who's always on his guard and never lowers it.
I thought that would have been maybe quicker, but it does take 2 to tango. And now,
gonna do the tango.
And you know, it doesn't affect us other than the fact that we don't want to see all those people that really, it's on the other side of the ocean. It's a war that should have never happened. It did happen. I blame the person also sitting right behind this desk. This is a war that should have never happened.
Wait,
it wouldn't have happened.
Is he Zohran? Because isn't Zohran standing behind him at the desk? I mean, I know he's probably blaming Biden, but I'm like, what? What?
President, but we're trying to save a lot of lives. They're losing 25. Think of that, 25,000 lives.
Oh, he meant the guy sitting behind the desk before. Oh, okay. I thought he meant like
a short period of time. That's Ukrainian and Russian, and it's a shame.
What happens if President? I want to ask the mayor-elect about a House resolution just passed overwhelmingly to condemn socialism, including 6 Democrats, all of House Dem leadership, and the minority leader, Hakeem Jeffries, despite his endorsement of you. What's your reaction?
Oh, the Democrat Party sucks.
I have to be honest with you, I focused very little on resolutions. Frankly, I've been focusing...
This guy is the only good person, and actually no, Bernie. Obviously, Bernie's amazing. He's an absolute legend. AOC's not bad either.
Open about that. And I know there might be differences about ideology, but the place...
Bernie's crazy though. He's like, what? He's 84 and he's still in politics and trying to fight the good fight. An absolute lad.
Agreement is the work that needs to be done to make New York City affordable. That's what I look forward to.
Okay, well, I'm gonna stop there because otherwise I go on all day and I'm halfway through the video. God damn. But yeah, it's interesting to see Trump and Mamdani being very cordial and polite with each other and civil. I know a lot of MAGA right-winger conservatives on X are absolutely raging right now because they were expecting the opposite. They were expecting, you know, Big Daddy Trump to tear into this guy, but that seems to be the opposite. Trump obviously respects Mamdani's grind, and you can obviously see his charisma and popularity, and he probably wants a slice of that pie because he's not doing too well right now. Anyways, if you enjoyed watching this video and you want to talk, leave a comment in the comment section. You can leave a like, subscribe if you feel like it. But as for now, I will see you guys later. You all have a good day and peace out. See ya.